Yes, you can start speaking now.
Well, I'd like to tell you about a time when I received money as a gift. It was about 15 years ago. Uh, when I was 5. My parents gave me money for my 5th birthday. It was a very special birthday I because I've I've got a lot of money from my parents, and then I decided to think how to spend it. After receiving money, my father said me to spend it for for something uh, for something special and interesting that I can enjoy it. Then I decided to buy a costume of Spider-Man because I was interested in, in Spider-Man's film. Then I decided to buy it, and I felt very fabulous and fascinating.
Okay, thank you. That's enough. Thank you very much. So let's go on to more general question on the same topic. In your country, do parents give children money for doing housework?
I think no, not definitely. Children often do housework themselves, so they prefer to help their parents.
So they don't get money, yeah? Isn't it important for children to have a right attitude towards money?
I think yes, because children should know how to spend money and realize
the value, or
children should.
Okay, so do you think it's a good idea to give money as a gift?
I think it's normal because some people need money, and if someone can give money as a gift, it would be.
So, okay, thank you. That's the end of your speaking class. So, you need to be more confident. Don't don't feel so scared or nervous. And then when you said neighborhood means the place where you live, your mahallation. Yeah, but you start speaking about name. That's a typical mistake. It's kind of a they do it understand. That's why I asked you, like, describe me your favorite. Like in your area. So the reason why I asked you to tell me about your city and what is it famous for, I was expecting that you would tell me some interesting places, cafes, maybe a restaurant that you like, or something like, some entertainment places. But you just said famous people, famous living here, and that's all. So try to give more information. Yeah, try to think of what does a tourist want to hear from me when they ask you such question. Okay, and so Spider-Man, 5th birthday. Square. So when you say square, they understand square. British people, yeah. So I mean, in English, they would understand square as a square. So you have to say that it's a central part of our city. It used to be called just square, but now it's just I call this Amir Timur's area, right? And So you could describe this place with the monuments and so on, that lots of people come and gather there. He said, Father said me, not said me, told me. You have to say told me, yes. And spent on something, not spent for. Yeah. And yeah, I decided to bought it. I decided to buy it, you should say. I decided to buy it, yeah, but you said bought it, yes. And in the second question of part 3, you couldn't develop till the end your answer. And when you said, when I asked you about giving money as a gift, you said it's normal. When you say normal, they don't think that this is like Russian when you say it's normal, like нормально. They don't understand that. Normal means it's a usual thing. So like when you say normal, usually Americans say normally, which means usually. Yes. So you better say, well, I think it's quite okay. Like it's acceptable to give a gift as a gift money. Usually to adults, because they know better what they want and they could buy it. You could better say like this. Yeah, develop your ideas freely, because you stop a lot. You should try to speak more, like more confident and a bit quicker answers, because you're kind of becoming slow sometimes, so you have to be quicker a bit. Yeah, and don't hesitate. This hesitation blocks your speaking. I feel that you have good potential of good score. The only thing is just to overcome this barrier. You don't need to hesitate. You need just let it be simple speech, but like fluent. Yeah, I think it's good because people give gifts and they're happy. Like you can use simple language and just stay fluent. Yes. Don't think about complex words. The complex words should come naturally themselves. Yeah. Well, so in the beginning, part 1, part 2 was something like 5.5, but in part 3, you gave such little, small answers, and that could affect your score very much. And I think they would score for this 5. Yeah. So you need to work on this non-stop speaking, but I don't mean fast, but a bit faster than now. Okay. Yes. Thank you. So.
Oh, this is famous.
Oh, well, no, it's okay. Yeah, I know. I have the list. Don't worry. Yes. So.
Could you recommend?
Yeah, watch YouTube, watch movies more. Not books. Books never help speaking. The next. Who's coming next one? Yeah. You're. Okay, there. Huh?
Good morning. How are you?
Doing great. So your name is?
My name is Marlon.
Marlon, right? Yeah. Zafar and Marlon, yes?
Yeah.
You came together. All right. You came last time too?
Yeah, it was approximately a week ago.
Oh, yeah, it was a week ago, exactly a week ago. Okay, because I see like familiar people.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, good. We're ready to start, right?
Yeah.
Nice. So my name is Sam. What is your full name?
My full name is Muzafarov Martanbek.
Good. And where are you from?
I'm from Uzbekistan, from city Tashkent.
Great. Can you tell me more about your city? Do you have favorite place in your city?
Yeah, of course. My city is full of entertainment centers, and also we have a lot of cultural centers. But my favorite one is Historical Museum of Uzbekistan, because there you can learn about our history, not only about our history, but in a whole Central Asia history, because we have a lot of historical equipments and heritage from all parts of Asia. For example, from Kazakhstan, we have a specific stones which were.
Okay, that's okay. Thank you. Let's talk about something else. Let's talk about cooking. Can you cook?
Yes, I can cook, but not all specific ethnic foods of Uzbekistan. I can cook palav, Also, I can cook manti and kazan kebab. It is our ethnic foods, and I can cook kazan kebab very well.
And how did you learn to cook it?
My grandfather always taught me how to cook kazan kebab. He always said to me that you can give part of your soul so that it could be delicious.
Nice. So your grandfather taught you to cook.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's great. Okay, so would you like to learn to cook something new?
Yes, of course. When I was a child, I always dreamed how to be a great chef. For example, in France, I'm always watching a Michelin's video programs where they explain how to cook ethnic French foods.
All right, good, nice. And let's talk about different topics. So let's talk about weather. Do you prefer dry or wet weather?
I always prefer rainy days because it gives me more cover. And when I woke up and see that it's a rainy day, I'm always full of energy. And I prefer to run across the streets and listen music in rainy days.
Okay, what's your favorite season?
My favorite season is spring because I was born in spring and I really love it. Because, as I mentioned before, there are a lot of rainy days in spring, and moreover, I love when flowers blossomed out. And also, it is interesting to learn about our nature. But only in spring we have this ability.
All right. Thank you. So now I can move on to part 2, and so I would like you to describe a success that your friend has achieved. You have 1 minute to get ready. Yes. Yes, please start.
Today I would like to talk about my best friend. He is also my classmate and we grew up together. And he was my earliest friend. And I also always think that early friends are long lasting. So we always learn together, not only in our school, but we are together in my lyceum. I am a student of economic lyceum of my course. And I'm always wondered by this person because he always have a specific abilities. For example, he have a very taste on music, and also he can play in 2 musical instruments, in piano and guitar. And also, I want to say that he was rewarded by our class master. She gave her special certificate where they was written that he is the best student of my course in in the last year. And he held a lot of awards from math, and also recently he passed exam in SIT and he got a very good result. I know that he from math got 99%. It is very good, I think. It's very well, I think. And also I know that he have a specific dream to fly to America and learn there how to study, how to teach people, and back to Uzbekistan and correctly teach our people how to learn English. I really love this person. I think that he is the best of the best, and I really respect him.
Good, thank you. It was very interesting. So, what kinds of people would be considered successful in the society?
Usually, when you ask me this question, I remember the special quote which says that people who read books always control people who watch TV. So I think that clever people always succeed in our society. But sometimes it could not be true because you know that in our society one of the most widely recognized problem is corruption. So sometimes it happens that people from not very with not very good knowledge could succeed. I could succeed.
Okay. What are the reasons for failure?
Sometimes it could be that you are not considered on your that you are not considered your plans and not think about your details. But sometimes it could be another reason, maybe bad mood, or sometimes somebody not help you, or you got not correct information, or you know that it happens that people get failed because they don't have a specific ability, but they really want it, or it is a lack of wish.
Do you think university degree would guarantee one's success in career?
In career?
In career.
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 Yes. I think that university is essential part of learning how to work, but I know a lot of people who are very well on their work without graduating from university. And also, I want to know that the university are also important in human life because I can say that it's not teach you how to learn a subject, but also give you life lessons.
Okay, thank you. That's the end of the speaking test. I'll give you short feedback. Okay. So you said teach it. Yeah, and you said yes, of course. We'll try to avoid this phrase. Everybody use it. Then you mean chef, not chief. Chef is the person who cooks. And you said only in spring we'll have this ability. No, possibility. Ability is exactly physical thing. Yeah. I mean, your fluency was going very good in part 1, but in part 2, part 3, you a bit lower down. You started stopping a lot. Yes, and it seemed like it was going to 6.5, but in part 2, part 3, it went down because of blocking, so it's 6 for now. This time. Yes, that's it. Mardon, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Can you call the next person? Who is there? Let me. Who's been waiting for a long time? Are you doing that? All right. Okay. That's perfect. Fine. Don't wait for the chance. Come on, please. Have a seat. Right. Well. So, okay, you got the place. Nice, sir. Yes, we're ready to start. So my name is Sam. What is your full name?
My full name is Shavkat Zafar.
Shavkat?
Shavkat Zafar.
Zafar, right? Okay, good. So, okay, and where are you from?
I'm from Uzbekistan, and now I live in Tashkent.
Good. So, can you tell me what are the places that you often visit in Tashkent?
Nowadays, one of the famous places is parks which is located in Tashkent, such kind of Eco Park or Bobur Park, and I prefer to visit such kind of place in my city because this place very very beautiful nature, a lot of trees, and good society.
Nice. Okay. Let's talk about something else. Let's talk about sky. How often do you look at the sky?
We can say that it's my hobby to look at the sky because when I look at the sky, I get a lot of pleasure and just we can survey that how our nature covered us and and when you see such kind of things like sky or clouds, your mood your mood become increased and
Okay, thank you. So do you prefer the sky in the morning or the sky at night?
Well, I prefer to survey the sky at the night because at the night we can see a lot of stars and moon. It's very beautiful, and you can get a lot of pleasure when you see such kind of things of nature.
Okay, let's talk about something else. So, do you often use email?
Well, no, I prefer to use Telegram or plus Messenger because it's very comfortable than email. And of course, Telegram and plus Messenger have other benefits than email.
Okay, so when was the last time you used email and what for?
Well, last time when I registered for when I registered for IELTS, I used email for for getting information about my IELTS test. IELTS test and.
Do you think you will use emails in the future?
Can you repeat, please?
Do you think you will use email in the future?
Well, I think yes, because in the future I want to enter the foreign university, and I think for this we need to use email. And of course, I try to enter the SAT, and for this I maybe use email.
All right, good. Thank you. And now let's move on to part 2. And I would like you to describe your grandparents' job. Here. You have 1 minute to get ready.
Well, may I begin?
Yeah, you ready? All right, let's start.
Okay, now I'm going to narrate about my grandfather job. Well, my grandfather since 2012 and 2019, his job is farmer. He have private garden which take care of a lot of trees and other plants. In my opinion, it's not very easy job, but we can say it may be hobby. I can say that it's second nature of my grandfather because he very like plants and trees, such kind of baobab and other trees. And of course, this job needs a lot of employees, and I think our president encouraged my grandfather for this because my grandfather during 1 year get a lot of employee, begin 20 with end 80 or 90 employees for year, and of course. What about robots which try to replace humans in the work area? It may be because today we can see that how the world is improving every day, and when again discovering something new. And in my opinion, in the future maybe robots replace our employee and will doing their work.
Okay, thank you. That's enough. So let's move to part 3. We can have it. Yes, can I have this also? Yeah. Thank you. So, and what kinds of jobs are difficult to do?
in my grandfather's job, yes?
No, in general.
In general.
What kind of jobs are difficult to do?
Okay. In my opinion, every job's difficult. Of course, it depends of people, how they're working and how they take care about their work. And in my opinion, one of the difficult work is farming and such kind of jobs. Such kind of jobs which infinite with this farming.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you think it would be beneficial to provide training to employees?
But can you repeat this question?
Do you think it would be beneficial to provide training to employees?
Okay. In my opinion, yes. Because when we get employees, it's beneficial for us and of course for our citizens too.
Why?
Because when we get employees, they are begin to earn money and they will work for their country. We can say in general.
Okay, thank you. It's the end of your speaking test. So I'll give you short feedback. You have many grammar mistakes when you speak. Yes, and these grammar mistakes affect a lot on your speaking. It just blocks you from 6. It simply blocks you. So it stops you at 5.5. You said depend on, and will doing. Maybe will be doing. You mean? And why you mentioned the robots in grandparents' job? It should be just your grandparents' job. That's all. Like he was a great farmer. He was famous for irrigation, let's say, using new systems and bringing some profit and blah blah blah. You could say you should be maximum about your grandparents, but you start speaking about employees, robots. It was like off top. And you said bao bao. What is bao? You should explain them what is bao bao because maybe they don't know what is that. Yeah, it's like if you say some Chinese person or Japanese tells you some name of the city or country, you would be like, what is that? Yes, and I would start narrate. Narrate, it's more like narrate means to describe some old experience. Something happened to you. That's narrate. And that's too formal for part. You just say, well, my grandfather is really a great man for me and for my country, I suppose, because he did great things. Don't think about phrases that you need to use to start your part 2. Don't ever learn them. This is completely bad. The people you learn by heart some phrases, and it actually decreases their score because they use the same phrases from the same book. And examiners listen to the same people. Like,
okay.
So unfortunately, here you stop at 5.5. You need to work on your grammar. Thank you. Yes, hi, come in. Yes, okay. Hello. So we're ready to start. So hi, my name is Sam. What's your full name?
My first name is Befrus, second name is Nina.
Okay, Befrus, right? Good. So where are you from?
I'm from Tashkent, which is the capital of Pakistan.
Do you study or work?
Currently, I study at school. So it's great.
Good. All right. So can you tell me more about school? What are the advantages and disadvantages there?
I think advantages are we have a lot of subjects because our education system are compared on more subjects.
So what do you like most about your school?
About my school?
Yes.
My friends, my teachers.
Do you have many friends there?
Of course, yes.
How many?
About 10.
How much time do you spend with them, except for school?
Except for school, I think all the time.
All the time, yes. Okay, so what's your favorite? Where do you usually go together after school?
After school, we will go to have a lunch and just hang out together.
And where? Or so you have lunch where? And where do you hang out? Just outside in the street?
We go to like fast foods like Alice and street and seven, which is near.
Okay, good. All right, so all right, let's move on to questions. Some of the common questions. Let's talk about sharing. Do you have anything to share with others? Do you share something with others?
I think my kindness is the whole thing that I can share.
And by share, I mean like, do you use together the same thing? For example, you share a flat or you share a computer.
Yes, if I have something, I just share with another.
Can you say that you're a generous person?
Generous?
Yeah.
I think somehow, yes.
Okay, so who are you usually generous to? Who are you generous to? More generous? To your family, friends?
To my sister, I think.
Why?
Because I just having time together with her more. She's like near to me.
Okay, so can you cook?
Yes, because my mother went to another places, so I just have.
You have to cook. So so you cook because you have to, or because you enjoy it?
Because I have to. I enjoy it too because I'm cooking like very delicious foods.
What kind of food can you cook?
Like I'm cooking meals. At some holidays I have.
How did you learn to cook?
At social like at YouTube.
Sorry?
At YouTube.
YouTube. You learn cooking from YouTube.
Yes, watching videos.
Is it always successful? What do you cook? What was the last food you cooked?
I'm just cooking a meal with some chicken fries with.
So something easy.
Yes.
All right. Would you like to learn to cook something new?
Something new. Yes, I just try to cook the plov. This is the national food in our country.
No, so you don't know how to cook it yet.
I know, but I didn't try it.
No, you want to try? Okay, good. Let's move on to part 2, and I would like you to describe your grandparents' job. Okay, you have 1 minute. Okay, thumbs up. You can start speaking now.
So my grandparents was working at the laboratory. At that time, he was studying at agriculture university, and he just preparing to enter to magistrate, and after some months, he just ended this like study job and went to his own laboratory he created his own laboratory for somehow like made new preparations for agriculture, and he just worked in his job, I think about 20 years, and he had a very great experience on that. He gets a job when he was 20 or 18, almost middle of that years. I think I will be interested in this job, but I have another interest, not in chemistry, not in the somehow technologies. I'm just interested in economy. That's why I think.
That's it, right? Okay, thank you. Let's move on to next questions. So, what kinds of jobs require certain skills? What jobs are difficult to do, in your opinion?
As a matter of fact, I think it will be engineering, somehow of works which can be doing with people's mind. It can be engineering, so somehow of scientist.
Scientist, okay. Is it easy to find a well-paid job in your country?
Paid job?
Is it easy to find a well-paid job in your country?
It's an interesting question. I think it's like somehow difficult, but if you are specialized on like business or somehow
okay. Thank you. That's the end of your speaking test. Because you need to be faster. The examiner doesn't have time. He has usually 10 minutes to assess you. And if you're slow, that means the question that he prepared or she prepared, he will not manage to ask. And it will be like automatic, let's say, some parts of will be lowering your score. And you give very short answers, should give longer answers, like when you say you started so well in the beginning, like, oh, I hang out, and then you like, oh, yes, I like cook, and like short, you should be longer. Yeah, I like cooking different food. And you could say, I love cooking because I have to cook and I love cooking. I always experiment and I learn from YouTube. It is so exciting. I try to experiment and create my own dish sometimes. Sometimes it's nice, sometimes it's bad. I could give longer answers. Then chemistry, not chemistry. And about your grandparents' job, I didn't get meaning much, like magistry, master's degree, maybe you want to say yes. Study job, he study job. Some parts were not clear what you want to say. Yes, and yes, so don't say it's interesting question. This phrase is just like fed, it makes them feel kind of annoyed, because everyone comes with an interesting question. So yeah, and you're giving the answer slow, so try to be quick. And I think, or I guess, I believe, use smarter words in part 3, yeah. Yeah, so because you and specialized, there's no say in English, only in the word pizza. So no, that's 5, unfortunately. That's 5. You need to be, like, if you make your answer a bit longer, I think you can get 5.5, but still, you should be careful with how you complete your sentence. Yes, that's it. Yes, come in. I'll sit. Okay, so we're ready. So what's your name?
My name is Ibrahim and my second name is Selipov.
Okay, Ibrahim, good. And what do? Do you study or work?
I'm studying.
Studying where? Tell me about the place.
At 17 school.
School number 17?
Yes.
Here?
Yes.
Oh, good. All right, nice. So tell me, what do you like about your school?
I like the vast majority of subjects due to the fact that it's very interesting and our teachers are polite.
Teacher polite, good. So who's your favorite teacher there?
There is my English teacher. Her name is Aizi.
Good. So nice. And when was your last lesson of English?
It was 2 days ago.
And what did you learn there? What did you do?
We communicate with face-to-face about IELTS.
You just talked about IELTS. Good. And what kind of things does your teacher usually teach you?
Grammar and some vocabulary.
Okay, nice. Okay, let's talk about your neighborhood. Can you tell me about your neighborhood?
Okay. From a point of view, my neighborhood is very beautiful space. Only the fact that the number of, the vast majority of children located in there. Moreover, I suppose that my neighborhood is clean and admired for other people.
Okay, would you like to change something in your neighborhood?
I consider it to be not extremely vital for me, owing to the fact that all things there very beautiful.
Everything is nice. All right, nice. Okay, so can you tell me how your city has changed over the last 10 years?
City. I assume that the immense number of various features changed my mind and my attitude for this item also changed.
What kind of item?
I began read some books. Therefore.
But how your city has changed? How your city has changed? I
don't know, but I acquired.
Are there new buildings?
New buildings?
Yes, in your city.
Actually, there have some buildings.
Can you tell me and describe some of the new buildings in your city?
New buildings, I suppose it's about economic business or bank. This building was built somewhere 2 years. And however, my neighborhood, yes, one of the biggest building too. Its name is namely.
Okay. How do you think your city will change in the future, in the next 10 or 20 years?
Yes. It is difficult to answer the question due to the development of technologies. People like to do more things fluently, and I suppose that it will be very advantageous and big area, and I consider it.
So there will be more new buildings, or it will be the same?
I suppose it will be more buildings.
Okay, good. Now let's move on to part 2. I would like you to describe an item that you bought but never use. Here, you have 1 minute. Okay, time's up. You can start speaking now.
Okay. I guess I could begin by saying something about item I bought but don't often use. And I would have to choose them above. Going on to my next point, which is when I bought it, I really need to add that I got it from a supermarket near my hometown. And with reference to why I bought it, the point I want to make here is that I found off in this ball, and I would like to play this ball with my friends. But you see, being pretty busy with my study and preparation for exams, I don't have much free time. Therefore, it's not useful for me nowadays. And if I have time in asking the question of why I didn't often use it, I should mention that it's malicious idea. Since I have a wide variety of tasks.
All right, thank you. That's enough. So let's go on to part 3. Are you an impulsive customer?
Excuse me.
Are you an impulsive customer?
Impulsive customer. I suppose that yes, of course.
Why?
Already the fact that I choose more things which I like, but in the supermarkets, some things not has.
Do you care about the pollution caused by packaging?
Packaging. It's an interesting question, but I assume that an immense number of such as features pollute environment.
Okay, thank you. This is the end of the speaking test. So, you use too formal language in the beginning. You have phrases, but I don't hear your ideas. You say, owing to the fact that, and you stop there, or you give short answer. Owing to the fact that is too formal for part 1. For part 3, they're okay. Moreover, I suppose it's like you're talking too formal. Just, well, I guess it's like this, and some people would do this, and I think it's like that, like this, like a real native speaker. You should be same as natives. I don't know what books you use. Where do you guys get this phrase? You know, I'm sick and tired of going on to my next point. And with the reference, where do you get this phrase?
You know, I teach English language all by myself.
Yeah, but where did you get this phrase?
This phrase from YouTube.
Really?
Yes.
Because like I think everyone is using, and do not watch speaking IELTS video to learn something from them. Because they give you some phrase, and all people take this phrase, and all people use the same book, and all of you're the third person who's using this phrase now. You know, just today. But imagine how many people they see a day using the same phrase. So that's why please do not learn phrases. Do not. If you just spoke about each point, that's already enough. That's enough. Yes. You don't have to say, well, going to my next one. They are listening to you. They can see that you're talking about. You could say, well, as regards his age, I would say you could use some other words. As regards, in terms of his character, I would probably say that he's like this. Or simply you just go like, and the reason why I bought it is probably blah, blah, blah. And I bought this in this place. You don't have to use this going to my reference. It sounds too formal. It's so unnatural, honestly, very unnatural. I'm fond of, you should say. You say, I should mention that, and you stop. Which tells me that you learned phrases, but you didn't really improve and prepare ideas. You should always work on ideas. Don't think about cool phrases. Think about, how can I explain my idea clearly to the examiner? That's it. That's number one. Number two is then some phrases may help you, but only if they're used naturally. So because due to development of technology, you talk about buildings. I don't know why. I ask you just to describe the building. So very often you go off topic of the question. I ask you one thing, but you're moving away somewhere. So stay on topic. And you said ball, like a ball, a football, right?
Yes.
Okay, because I heard like a bow, like I thought it's a bow first, and then said ball, like yeah, try to be clear and developer. So because the ideas are short and sometimes you have some grammar mistakes that decreases your score much to 5. You have to work on, if you're clear and understandable, simple, that's already minimum 5.5. Plus fluency, that's 6. Plus some couple of nice phrases, like, well, idioms, but used naturally. And maybe a bit faster, that could be even more than 6. Okay, that's it.
Thanks for attention.
Yes. Yes, thank you. You came last week too?
Yes.
Right? And your name is?
Said Ahmad.
You.
I haven't paid yet.
Okay.
Like,
All right.
I should pay now or after?
No, after you finish.
Okay.
It's okay. So, we have changed a bit policy about the feedback and no feedback. So you want feedback, no feedback?
Feedback.
All right, because it was very overwhelming, honestly. All right, let's start. So, what's your full name?
My full name is Said Ahmad.
Good. And what do you do?
I'm a student. I'm studying at International House Lyceum on the second course of Exact Science.
Good. So, what things you like and don't like about your lyceum?
I really like teachers and students. They are friendly. Teachers always help me. Students are wonderful. They are all my friends. But however, I don't like the study process. Like our lessons begins at 12 o'clock. And I really hate this because I haven't got time on other things like extra lessons.
Okay, let's talk about tea and coffee. So, what do people in Uzbekistan prefer more, tea or coffee?
I think people in my country show big preference for tea more than the coffee because it's a tradition, our tradition. That's why.
How about you? Do you prefer tea or coffee?
To be honest, I like coffee in the morning, but I prefer tea during the day.
Good. Okay. Can you make a very good coffee?
So difficult question for me, to be honest, but I have a special machine for the coffee, and I think yes, I can do it.
Okay. So, and when do you usually have tea and coffee?
As I mentioned before, coffee I make every morning because it helps me to wake up, and tea I like the hot tea after my lessons. After my
So
lessons.
you prefer just to drink tea or coffee, or you have some snack also?
I like to drink coffee. Yeah, I like to drink coffee with like some sweets, especially like cookies. I can drink just tea, like without snacks or anything else.
Okay. Do you sometimes buy coffee in the coffee shops?
Yes. Well, for example, when I haven't got time in the morning to drink coffee, when I'm very busy and I'm like waiting for some special meetings, after the meeting I go to coffee shop and buy like 1 cup of coffee.
Okay. And when was the last time you made coffee for someone?
For someone, it was literally yesterday. For my father, he came from work and he wanted to watch a movie, but he was like very not stressed, very
Tense.
yes. And he asked me to make like a strong coffee. I made it for him, and he was happy.
Nice. Okay. And so I hope this question was not last time on you, right? So describe the time you taught someone something. Yeah, it was not?
No.
So yeah, please, you have 1 minute. Here you go. Okay. Yes, you can start speaking now.
I guess I could begin by saying something about a time I taught something new to a younger person, and I think I would have to choose time management, money management for my sisters. I think it was like a week ago when they had birthday party. They are twins. On their birthday party, it was like their first experience with money. Every their friends like present them money, and I taught them money management, how to save money, how to spend money right, and like because they are like too young for like spending money, and I think it would be good like for them how to know how to deal with money. Like I felt myself like a brother, and I think I did it right. Like because my parents are very busy nowadays, and they have no time to teach them like English or help them with lessons or other things, and I have to do it for to do it.
Okay, thank you. That was interesting. Thank you very much. So, what skills should be taught to children?
I think they should first and foremost they should be taught how to be polite, and then like
what skills do adults need to have?
I think the most needed skill is I think responsibility for an adult person, because every person should be responsible.
Okay, how can people be motivated to learn new things?
From my point of view, a child can be like motivated by some activities or games, but really I don't know how to motivate adult person. because every person should like know that he must do it. Nobody should like motivate him.
Okay, thank you. This is the end of your speaking test. So, you sound a little bit unnatural because you stop sometimes, and you should have, you produce a sentence in parts. Like you say something and then you cut it and say, but you should make one sentence at one breathing out. So I often do this because I think adults have to have responsibility when they look after children and others. Like they're like adults, I think, and divide. Don't divide sentences. Make full one sentence. And sometimes it takes you a long time to answer. So try to be a bit quicker to answers because quick answer also affects a bit better score. So big preference was good. So you need more fluency in this case. And you have to make a bit longer sentences. Sometimes you make too short, like you said about Father Yellow. You could say, well, my father had a very busy day, so he was very tired, and I know that he really loves coffee. And he asked me to make coffee, and I made the best coffee I could make. It was a strong coffee from Nescafe or something. It's his favorite coffee. He always buys it every month, and we all enjoy it. So, like longer. If you give like this answer, examiner will be like, wow, great. That's like clear, longer answer. But it's like, my father came, and he had a busy day. He asked me coffee, I make coffee. It's a bit robotic, So you have to give it like, oh yeah, let's talk about coffee. Yeah, I'll tell you about coffee that I make and like more and more, You should be ready for anything. And the question seems so easy, right? Just coffee. But this is what they do. They're choosing some simple topics that you would never expect, yeah? Not difficult ones. So you stop at around 6. You need to have this fluency first for long sentence, fluent sentences. Of course, add a couple of idioms with some kind of modern idioms from movies. Get some from movies. And in part 3, try to give longer answer too. Yeah, like try to give some clear, like give some reasons firstly, secondly, and so on. Yeah. So, but it's 6. Was it the last time? What was the last time?
It was 5, I think.
Really?
Last time was 5.
Yeah, it was even 5. Let's see. So this time you did much better. It's nice.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Come. Be faster. Let's be faster. Oh, nice.
This is nice too?
Huh? But it's Nestle is fake somehow. That's good. Last time. Okay, we can do it together. Come. Start. Your life on YouTube. Yeah, so it's like surprise, but nobody's watching for now.
No, really?
Yeah. Okay. Let's start. So, what's your full name?
Oh, my full name is Zoda.
Yoda. Good. And where are you from?
I am from Tashkent, capital of Uzbekistan.
And what do you do? Do you study or work?
Nowadays, I study.
Where do you study?
I study at the Lyceum under Polytechnical University in Tashkent.
Why did you choose this place?
Why
did you choose this place?
Firstly, I chose this place because of its education system, very strict and a good education system it has, and for
like I can see for buildings too, for opportunity, comfortability.
Nice. And what's your next step? What are you planning to do next?
Well, next, this year I'm going to finish this license, and I'm going to study in this Korean university, Seoul University, international, like international school of business.
What makes this university different from others for you?
From others, well, firstly, I think it has like opportunity to study for international students. Firstly, I love it, and secondly, I love it's like opportunities to find a work, to find a well-paid job after the graduation. Because
so you would like to work abroad?
Yeah, I would like to.
Can you compare? Can you compare working abroad and working in local country?
Well, for example, let's take our Uzbekistan. Firstly, it has many working places. I don't think so. They are well-paid job, well-paid like work. I can say it like this. But for example, for foreign country, if you work, if you do black collar job, even you can like earn minimum $3,000 per month. I can say. That's why I think it's better to work there. And why I wanted to study, why I want to work in foreign country. Firstly, I wanted my my future job is a business in the marketing. In our country, marketing is not popular job. I mean, that's why I want to study. I want to work there.
Okay, so have you planned what city you would like to go to after you graduate?
First, I planned, sure. Firstly, I'll after graduation, I guess maybe 1 or 2 years I'll work in Korea. First, I'll make my business a little business, my own business, and then I would like to work in Canada and Switzerland. You know, because firstly, why Canada? Canada has many working places to work, and Switzerland. Why Switzerland? Switzerland is I can say highest. They have a high salary for job. That way.
Okay, let's talk about something else. Do you often drink tea or coffee?
Well, often I prefer to drink tea. Why? It's very helpful and it's very good for your health. Firstly, and if you are thirsty, first you should drink tea. It really stops your thirsty. And coffee, I rarely drink a coffee when I'm tired, really, or when I should do my works at night. That's why.
Okay, let's move on to part 2. Here's your question. So, something you bought but you don't use. 1 minute. Yes, you can start speaking now.
Okay, well, firstly, there are many items which I bought, but I don't use now. But now I wanted to speak about item, an unusual item to be good fit. It's for your hands. For your hands, yeah. First, I bought it about 2 months ago from the online shopping. It was a cheap and unusual thing for me. That's why at that time I interested in. And I bought there and I started to use it that time. I used it about 1 or 2 weeks. After that, I stopped to use because after that I started to I have a problem with my studies and some kind of my own business. That's why I stopped it. And nowadays, it stays at home. And what else? Oh my gosh.
All right, that's okay. That's enough. Thank you. Now, part 3. So, do you care about the pollution caused by packaging?
Packaging. Well, yeah. I care, sure, I care. Because, due to the packaging, due to the plastic stuffs, our pollution coming really so polluted. Our environment. It impacts on our environment. Personally, I don't like to buy a sauce with the packets. If you burn it, it makes big a worse chemicals to our environment. That's why I don't like it. I prefer to use like a box style,
Do you pay attention to environmental protection?
Protection. Yeah, I make attention to environmental protection. For example, I don't like to throw things away in anywhere. I mean, it's better to throw it in the rubbish to rubbish. And I don't like cool people smokes a lot and they throw this cigarettes in anywhere. I don't like it.
Okay. Thank you. This is the end of your speaking test. So you're good, but it's like it's almost 6, almost coming to 6. But just sometimes you stop, like you say, I like tea. Why? You ask yourself question. You repeat sometimes to yourself. So don't repeat yourself. Just answer question. Sometimes you stop when you think, some words. But you can improve it very well. I think maybe they could give you even 6. It's like close to 6, but these things a bit stop you when you say why. And I think, but it's going good. It's going good. It's not you're positive, trying to be fluent, but sometimes you stop. That stops you.
Yeah.
Sometimes if you don't stop, it will be 6 for sure. And you should prepare for some words like when you said packaging, contamination, pollution. I think pollution has negative effect on environment, like this. But you should burn in some chemicals. You're explaining too simple. You should use some smarter words to add there. But in general, it's going good. First part was just fantastic.
Just the last one.
Quick. Good that you're late.
Yeah, you leave it here.
Yeah. And your name is?
My name is John.
Yes. Good. Okay. Yes. Right. Let's start. So, all right. Hi. My name is Sam. What's your full name?
My name is Ahmed from John.
What do? You study or work?
I study. I'm a student. In the surgical faculty Lyceum.
Okay. So, tell me about your Lyceum. What do you study there?
My main subjects are maths, physics, and English. I'm the first student.
Okay. So, what do you do in your free time?
In my free time, I prefer to read books or listen to music.
So, what kind of music do you listen to?
I often listen to hip hop or rap music.
Nice.
I find them more interesting and motivating.
Let's talk about pets. So, do you have a pet?
Yes, I have a pet, canary birds.
Nice. So, do many people in Uzbekistan keep pets?
I think in Uzbekistan people
people, most of people haven't pets because it's not popular in my country. But some of them have pets, such as dogs or cats or some birds.
Have you ever had a pet when you were younger?
No, I don't. I have any pets when I was young. But
did you want to have a pet?
Yes,
when you were child? What animal you wanted to have?
I really wanted to have a dog, but my parents do not agree with me.
And in the future, what pet would you like to have? Will you keep at home?
In the future, I want to have a dog. I don't know what sorts of the dogs, but I want to have a cat.
Cat and a dog.
Cat and dog, yes.
Nice. Okay. Let's go on to part 2 here. So describe a situation when you received horrible service. You have 1 minute to get ready.